You also know today is National Weatherpersons Day, so I feel we need to celebrate weather and celebrate our meteorologist, Elisa Raffa. Elisa, it's all about you today.
Hello!
Congrats.
Welcome. Congratulations.
We're giving you flaps.
Thank you.
Because we're
You
so
guys
happy.
are so sweet.
We want to celebrate you and all you do.
Sit down. Okay.
And on a side note, Elisa, we have an award for you. We brought this especially for you. If you can get it a little close up.
Yes.
That, by the way, Elisa, spelling meteorologist, not my
hard.
forte. It is hard.
Did you do it right, though?
I did because I had to go to your page and copy exactly what was on your page.
Apparently saying meteorologist is hard too. I have an uncle who has a very heavy Italian accent. He calls me a meteorologist.
I love that. I can do that.
I can't say
That's so cute.
meteorologically speaking, like meteorology. I can't say.
Meteorology speaking. Is that right?
I don't know.
Meteorologically.
Meteorologically.
I trip on it too.
Okay, it's a hard word.
Okay.
But this is, you guys are so cute.
So tell us about National Weatherpersons
Yeah.
Day, and I know you're wearing a very special pin today also.
Yeah, I've got a pin from the AMS, which is the American Meteorological Society, the biggest weather and climate organization in the world. And the AMS turns 100th this year, so we are celebrating that, especially today.
Yeah,
That's so awesome.
great.
And that's the pin you're wearing right there. Look at how cute that
That
is.
is so cute.
Yeah.
We've learned so much from you about weather and how hard it is to predict sometimes.
Yeah.
Snow especially.
Yeah.
And how scientific it is.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I was curious why, like when you're growing up in New York, why did you pick meteorology to study in as a career?
This might come as a shock to you, but I'm a nerd. I've always loved science and math, like always. I was always with the first one with my hand up in the classroom high.
Interesting.
So, yeah, I've always loved science and math, and I was intrigued by Hurricane Katrina specifically, just how big of a storm it was, and how much impact that it had down in Louisiana, Mississippi. So at a young age, I decided I want to take my love for science and protect lives and property with my love for science. And so that's, I mean, I've wanted this since I was like 10 or 12.
Isn't that cool? That is so cool that you knew that.
Yeah.
So are you living your dream?
I am.
That's so wonderful.
It's surreal sometimes. And when I go home and I visit my elementary school or my high school, my teachers and my principals get choked up because they heard me talking about this when I was like in 7th grade. And I went to college for this, you know, like it's been years.
Elisa Raffa, something just sparked me. I did a science fair project in 7th grade, and I grew up in Dallas. So you know what my science fair project was in 7th grade?
Oh.
Which of, because at the time there were 3 stations, the
Right.
NBC, CBS, ABC. I said, which of the 3 stations weather person predicted the weather most accurately?
That's great.
I did that in 7th grade, and I actually got a really good, I didn't like win the whole science fair or anything, but I got really great comments and from all the judges who really appreciated, because I had to follow all the weather people in Dallas for an entire month to see who was most accurate within the month and how they use that. So, you know, it does impact kids when they're seeing you do the weather.
Yeah, and that's what I love. I'm actually visiting a school today, you know, I love inspiring kids with the science and whatnot, and yeah, so kudos on that science project. And it does still show that while we have weather apps and computers and stuff, you'll always need that human forecaster.
Yes.
Ginger Z has a great analogy for this when people say, oh, nobody watches TV anymore, like what do we need them for? Her analogy is great. She says, imagine being sick and only going to WebMD for a cure or a prescription or something.
Exactly.
Could you imagine never going to the doctor again if you're sick?
No.
That's only going to get you so far, right?
That's true.
Yeah.
So
Very
there
good
you go.
point.
But
Love Ginger.
I didn't realize, like you said, that each person had their own individual. I thought you like went to an app or something and it kind of gave you. You have to figure it out.
Yeah, I take this science and data from multiple different avenues, multiple different scenarios, and it's my job with my expertise to figure out what's going to be the most likely outcome. I have to put in my knowledge and my experience into figuring it out because my job is to be smarter than the computer.
Yes,
I'm
and you
smarter
are.
than your weather app, guys.
Now, listen, Jeremy and I are terrible at science and math, so don't ask us if you need any help. Okay?
Okay.
Hey, Elisa, quickly, what happens though? Let's say we have Jamie Warner here also and Beth Finello. What happens if your forecasts don't match? Do you have to discuss it with them, or could you have a forecast this morning that's totally different from Jamie's, or it evolves over the day?
It does evolve over the day because the weather changes that much sometimes, but I learn a lot from Jamie and Beth, and I really like for us to kind of, we will, like on active days, Jamie will give me a phone call, be like, all right, this is what we're thinking, this is what you're thinking, and it's a team effort in here all the time.
But not long ago, you gave a forecast, and then it changed. And then Jamie came in and gave a different one.
That was like 3 days ago.
Because it evolves. That's how quickly.
4 years ago. No, it feels like 4 years ago. But yeah, it does change,
It does happen and evolve, and that's where our teamwork comes in.
That's why I love it.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
you, and
Thanks.
congratulations.
Happy congrats.
Yes.
Thank you, guys.
Such a fun day. All right, coming up, we're talking everything 1980s with our friend Megan Buckbinder with the Springfield Little Theater. It's 80s Prom. It's a great show. We'll be right back.
That sounds like fun.
Because it was the other day, remember? You didn't have snow in the forecast that morning, but it snowed overnight.
Teamwork, guys.